welcome to the Future Forward series discussions, where we engage with leading industry experts to explore latest data, trends, as well as innovations across various domains. We are excited to bring this insightful discussions to you as a part of our commitment to continuous learning and innovations. So today's podcast is very close to my heart, which is related to data, data modeling, and data visualizations. Not only me, look at the world, how it is changing. Data is becoming more crucial. You go to hospital, you go to sports, you go to do anything. Data is becoming more and more crucial. That's why they say data is the new oil. So without further ado, let's welcome today's guest, Mr. Amit Goyal, who is the leading data scientist and senior corporate faculty in the industry. Amit, welcome to our show.
Thank you for inviting me.
So Amit, we already have started, working together. But with the viewers' interest, if you can give a quickly, if you can introduce yourself and you can share your latest work.
Sure. So, hey everyone. So, my name is Amit, and I have 12 years of experience of working into different domains related to data science. So, in my last 12 years, I have spent my time into the e-commerce, finance, insurance, retail, building, developing, the data solutions for the different clients. And over this journey, while I have spent a lot of time into the corporate, then I moved into the field of freelancing. So where now I am training corporates and consultants who are looking to upskill themselves into the field of data science and explore these technologies. And parallelly, I also work on various the freelancing projects for different clients. So where they need some reporting solutions or predictive solutions for them. So yep, all in all, this 12 years have been great working into this data field. So that is a little bit about me.
Thank you so much for your introduction. So let's start our discussions, right? So the industry is changing, right? I mean, workplaces is changing over the decade you have experienced. There are a lot of the amount of data we generate every day is enormous, right? I mean, somewhere I was reading that each day we generate data somewhere close to 404 million terabytes. I mean, if you can calculate in a year, we cross something more than gigabytes per year, right? 150 gigabytes per year. So because of the growth of IoT devices, of the the growth sensors, and also we have seen somewhere I have read somewhere that a racing car, a Formula One racing car, where it generate 1 second, one per second, it generate more than 1 million of data points from different sensors. They use, as you have seen, that they every time they keep changing their tires, right? So tire pressure, suspension dynamics, even the driver's input or whatever, in terms of 300 plus engines they work together. So this kind of volume of data, why I'm saying is this, because as you all know, the importance of data has become high. The data visualization we are using in every part of our lives, right? So with this backdrop, if you can explain us or help us to know what is exactly data modeling, and how data modeling visualizations have been we are using in our workplaces.
Sure. See, this is something which is very interesting you have raised up, right? So awareness around the data is something which has increased exponentially, I would say, right? It is not just the corporate, in the corporate world, we are using the data. At an individual level also, if we see, we have become very much data driven today, right? Like if I give you some small examples from my daily life itself, like, my father, he loves tracking his steps. Right. And and he feels very
Smart
proud,
watches.
when he comes to me and he shows me, hey, today I have walked 10,000 steps.
Oh yes.
Now, if you see over here, 10,000 is a number, right? Because now, if he's able to measure these numbers, it motivates him to go a step further, right? Because now, next day, he wants to, break his own record and move extra steps.
Mm-hmm.
So, with all this data, right, like with all these devices that we all are using today, every device is generating data, right? We are watching a movie, we are ordering certain stuff on the online, on the online applications and everywhere.
Oh
So
yes.
all this data that we are generating. So if we are able to, analyze it well, all the solutions and the answers benchmarking lies over there. So
True.
what I consistently see is, since I have been training corporates for a number of years now, And
Mm-hmm.
even today, I see that, many of the people come to me and ask me a simple question that, hey, Amit, I know pivot tables in Excel. I am really good with it. But something where I'm struggling is if I have to make a simple pivot table where the data is in multiple sheets, I'm not able to do that. Right.
Mm. Okay.
And now, why are they not able to do it? Because they don't understand the concept of data modeling. And this is a feature which is available in plain Excel also, right? Like the Excel, they've launched this feature in 2010 and people are not aware.
Mm-hmm.
If I tell you a very simple term, what exactly is data modeling? Data modeling is something, you know, if a person understands it, they will realize that, all the formulas, functions that they're using in different tools, all those things will go away. So for example, I have one table over here which has employee information. One
Mm-hmm.
table I have in which I have, say for example, departments information, correct?
All right.
And then I have a third table in which I have done some mapping, which
Mm-hmm.
employee belongs to which department.
Right.
All three are different tables. Now, if I give this thing someone to in Excel, they will be applying multiple VLOOKUPs here, there, and then making one master data and will spend the entire day in doing that up.
True. True. How true.
Right? The simple solution lies in we just have to connect these tables to each other by identifying some common fields between them. And it doesn't even need any formulas and all. You just have to do drag and drop, right? We just have to make the relationships between the tables
Mm-hmm.
and that just connecting them up. And then you have to simply keep dragging and dropping things here and there. And this concept, right, of data modeling is so essential because this is not just being the stuff that you will be using in Excel. In any tool that you will pick, databases, Tableau, Power BI. In fact, in Tableau, they launched this feature after 2020, right? It was not previously there. We had to use joins and all. But
Mm-hmm.
now, it is there because people have realized the importance of this data modeling. And I really want, people should now start investing their time to learn it more. This will actually help them save a lot of time and effort.
True, true, true. How true is this? I mean, keeping in mind, I mean, you have seen that the AI and all the kind of automations coming into play. A lot of things have been changed. I mean, like you have rightly mentioned that Tableau has come up with a recent feature, and then so what do you think, like to meet the evolving need of the customers, how these tools like Tableau or Power BI are helping us in today's data-driven landscape?
Like I would say, like Power BI and Tableau, these are some tools which have given the reporting mechanism in every hand, right? There was a time, like I have worked on some of the older tools as well, like MicroStrategy, right? There was Cognos.
Yeah, yeah, Cognos. Yeah, I've been Cognos. One
Yeah.
of those.
So see, in those tools, what used to happen was to make simple reports also, we had to write long SQL queries,
Mm-hmm.
right? And suppose, after I have to change something, if, suddenly I feel this visual or this analysis is not going as per the meat, and I want some extra information into it, it used to take a lot of time. Now, with this Tableau, Power BI, the kind of tools that we have, these are more like drag and drop tools, right? So people, we don't expect a person to be technical for using this tool. He should have some aptitude skill. If he
Mm-hmm.
has business knowledge added to that, that's all he needs, because once the tool is shown to him, he knows what he wants to analyze. Just the way we use pivot tables in Excel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Excel is something we never consider that as a technical tool, right? This is something which we
True.
assume that this is bread and butter for everyone. Whatever
Absolutely.
domain you are in, you will be using it. And everyone is using it.
Most productivity tool around the globe.
Correct. Right. And now the same pivot feature only is there in these Tableau and Power BI or the other tools that we have, like Looker and all as well.
Yes.
You have to
Yes.
simply drag and drop the things and you build your visuals, right? And you can create your sophisticated reports within few minutes,
True.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And the most important part again over here would be these tools are not just data visualization tool, they are complete data package tools. All the data that you have, right? Multiple sources that from where you are deriving the data in. So all the data cleaning, data modeling, any complex custom calculations you need to do. So they have given you all the features.
Mm-hmm.
And the formulas and functions also that we use in these tools, they are kind of similar to what you use in Excel. So
Mm-hmm.
I would say, right, if a person has inclination towards data, he loves analyzing the stuff, right, and he wants to go more productive. So I would say Tableau, Power BI are the tools they should.
Right. Right. Thank you, Amit. Thank you so much for those insights. Um, so we are a competency development organization, right? Our bread and butter is building competencies on different skills altogether. So with respect to the skill development, what do you think? Like, I'll not ask you whether it is Power BI versus Tableau, but as a fresher, I mean, as a newcomer who is getting into a foray to the world of IT, or even other industries, how they should start learning these tools. Also, if you can say on the aspects of the certification part, is it PL 300 or is it the Tableau Certified Associate program? What they should look for, and also you can another thing also you can probably touch upon the common learning gaps, right? We have seen that people started and then they lose in between, and again they restarted going to different institutions, and they do this kind of mistakes. So probably if you can touch upon these two part, that would be really good.
Yeah. See, like, I'm into this industry for a long time now, and, wherein I'm training the people who are looking to upskill themselves. Plus, I also do a lot of interviews and do some hiring for the other
Right,
companies,
right.
right? So now, based on the learnings, what I have observed as a major gap, you see, this is not, I would say, that it is just the people who I'm hiring. When, I'm also teaching the people. So what
Mm-hmm.
happen is people mostly focus on the tool. They feel like that, okay, I should be knowing where a particular option is in Power BI or a Tableau,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, okay, if I have to make a chart, this is how I make a chart. Now, the more important part is that you have to understand how to work with the data. If you are able
Right.
to focus more on that part, that, okay, if I have received some data, you spend some time in making sure that you understand that data well. Then you do some brainstorming. Okay, what insights, what information do I need to pull out from here?
Mm-hmm.
Spending some time that, okay, is this data really in a structured format that I need to use for the tool?
Oh,
Does
yes.
it need some cleaning, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm able to think through on all those steps, honestly speaking, you can work on any tool in the world. You really don't need a training itself, right? If you're
Mm-hmm.
able to build yourself in terms of working with the data, understanding of the data, right? See, we are in
Right.
the world of the internet today, right? Information is available abundantly everywhere. We can
Everywhere.
go on
Right.
any platform,
True.
YouTube. There are so many the forums where we can go and learn today.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, certain times, people do explore that thing that, okay, let's try to learn it through the open forums. Now, on those open forums, what is happening is they are missing on the structure.
Mm-hmm.
Like they see something here, they see something there, and they don't understand, okay, the right step of learning should have been this, then second step, then the third step. What they're
Mm-hmm.
doing is certain people start learning the third step directly, and then they come back and they are not
Yeah.
understood the first step itself.
Yes.
So structured learning, right? Plus building the understanding around the data. And see, building understanding around the data will only come when you explore different data sets, right? Read about different industries, do some aptitude
True.
skills, right? Solve puzzles. That will help you build that aptitude that needs to work with the data. And now this is
Mm-hmm.
again not technical, right? This is now because there is a big question that always comes in the mind of the people is that is data science or this data world, do I need any technical skills for that? See, the answer is big no, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. AI is for everyone. Right.
A is for everyone, right? So in those cases, that's where I feel that if you are able to understand through the data, so you can go with any tool. But as per the market trends, if I have to answer this, definitely the more demanding tool in the industry today is Power BI.
Right.
The demand and its the usage across the industries is increasing. I have seen a lot of companies, they have been migrating their projects from Tableau to Power BI now, or maybe other tools to the Power BI. And the reason is there are multiple reasons, because it has easy adaptability with all the Microsoft products, plus cost wise it is very cheap. And the
Right.
people who are already coming with the background of Excel, and if you have to upskill themselves, upskill them to the field of Power BI, it's quite easy for them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
True. Very true.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And now plus in both these tools, like Tableau and Power BI, both of these companies, they have their own certifications as well. So see, certification is something I would say is like a achievement, is a self-belief and a self-achievement. That okay, if you clear some certification, it gives you one confidence that okay, I have learned this skill.
Right.
Now I'm good at it. That's why I was able to clear it up. And in fact, if you will go for the certifications also, those certifications are not very tool specific. They are more data driven. That they
Mhm.
ask you practical questions in that.
Yes,
Okay, how
scenario based questions. Yeah,
correct scenario based questions. So again, they are also testing you on the data analysis skill and less on the tool skill.
true.
That's why they have called their certifications also as a data analyst, right? PL 300 data analyst,
Data.
not a Power BI developer, something like that.
Right.
So I would suggest that if yes, if you have learned the skill, spend some time on the practice and go for the certification. That is really a plus point into your resume, because this gives the interviewer also a confidence that yes, definitely you would have learned this skill. That's why you were able to clear it up.
Mm,
So
absolutely.
so if you have to choose between Tableau and Power BI, my answer would be Power BI. Just learn it and go for the PL 300 certification. And then second, definitely more skills you have into your kitty, better it is. Then you can go for the Tableau Certified Associate examination as well.
Wonderful, wonderful. Also, I believe there is another point is the repositories, right? I mean, the kind of repositories are available with Microsoft. That is enormous, right? Learn.microsoft.com is itself having lots of information there that can be.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree to this point. The company itself, they have given you complete learning mechanism, right? If you will go through their website, they have given you complete detailed topics. Plus, they have given certain questions also, that kind of questions they asked in the interviews. So you can get a complete the information on the website itself.
Great, great, great. Thank you so much. Okay, now we'll be going to the little bit deeper. So we have talked about the skill development. Now, say for example, we wanted to build a dashboard. As you have seen in today's world, we have to be very much domain specific, right? Say like for example, if you are working in a HR department, so the HR analytics profession, how they will build the the dashboard with the using the certain KPIs. Similarly, I remember one of our client was asking for a program for building dashboards for a power industry. Right. Similarly, a manufacturer, sports equipment manufacturer, they wanted to build a dashboard. So, what are the kind of things they should keep in mind as a KPI aspects, and how they can build a good data visualization using this domain specific dashboards.
See, like when it comes to building a dashboard, right? So there are two skills that we need again, I would say. One is domain knowledge,
Oh yes,
and
absolutely.
second, the tool knowledge.
Mhm.
Now, see, charts will remain the same. If I'm using a line chart, if I'm using a column chart, pie chart, or any other chart, now the chart spectrum is same. It is just that the data that I'm putting into those charts is going to change from industry to industry. So my answer over here is like whatever domain you are from. So if you are not very like fluent into that domain, or you're not very expert into that, first of all you need to sit down with some guy who has that knowledge.
True,
You have to
very
ask
true.
him the questions that you have to kind of first, building the dashboard, you have to ask the question to the stakeholder. Okay,
Mm,
what I'm looking out for. If I build this report, how is it going to help me? Right? Like for a simple
mm,
HR dashboard, definitely for them, the important KPI is attrition. They have
true.
to understand how many people are leaving the company within a span of time.
Mm,
They have to calculate the attrition ratio, right? They will be looking out for, okay, which domain, or just 1 second. So now,
yes.
they need to sit down with a business person, right, who can help them understand that, okay, what are the important KPIs we're looking out for, right? Like, if I'm looking for HR dashboard, so definitely they would be understanding how the attrition is happening, in which domain the attrition is more, right? What are the sentiments of the employees towards the company? How are they finding? What are the good things? What are the bad things? So if they're able to, first of all, gather that information, which they critically need to analyze on a routine basis. See, dashboard I will definitely build for something which I need to periodically keep checking. The purpose
Right.
of reports dashboard is not that, okay, once I have done it, now my job is done. Now after, I can keep working that way, for the rest of the years. Every month, every quarter, I need to do that analysis and understand that am I actually improving in that or not? Because you also have to do the comparative analysis into it. So
Right.
if you're not improving, that means you're not taking the right steps if your
Mm,
analyses are still the same. So ultimately, there has to be a use case. And then we have to also benchmark it, that whether we are improving or we are declining in terms of the performance over that. So
true.
similarly, when you go into the financial industries, right? So there are a lot of P&L statements that they create, right? Insurance industry, for them,
Right.
claims are a big, challenge.
Oh yes,
right?
absolutely. Hmm.
So they again, they are making different reports across the different, now the reports are also like every organization today has gone global, and they're
Mhm.
working into different countries, into different domains. No, reports are also not just one general report that works everywhere. For different demographics, for different verticals, we have to create different reports and do the different analysis and understanding around them. So
Right.
that is where I would say that the domain knowledge plus a tool skill, both combined, are needed for this.
Mhm.
And as a data analyst, I always feel a data analyst is someone who can work in any field, right? If I've learned a skill, probably I don't have the domain skill right now, but as I spend couple of years in an industry, I will slowly start building that skill around it. See, like
Right.
I'm also an engineer, right? I have not done any MBA and all, but I have
Mhm.
spent a lot of time in retail industry, e-commerce industry, and finance. Now I understand those fields as well. I understand the jargons, I understand the
Mhm.
terminologies, I understand, okay, if someone will send me a new requirement into that field, what they would be expecting. So this got built over a time. And the same thing will happen with the data analyst, that slowly, once they start spending the time, their career progresses towards from data analyst to business analyst, because they
Mhm.
would have learned that things on the job. So that
Right.
is what I would say, right? First become data driven, and then you can, whatever industry you move in, try to explore more and more and keep learning throughout that journey.
Wonderful, wonderful, Amit. So, what I have understood that also along with your data skills, you also should have that subject domain, right? Domain skills are very, very important. If you do not have, catch hold of a domain expert, SME, try to understand, and then build your report.
Correct.
All right, all right. So moving to the next segment, which is the future of data visualizations. The other day we were having a discussion with another a friend of mine. He was talking about the tools like ChatGPT, AI assistant tools like Copilot. These are coming into pictures, and as you have seen, they have the capabilities to build a report in maybe in a Zifi. What is the role of a data analyst? Because the data analyst role is to creating a report, right? If the ChatGPT or the tools like Copilot can build a report within a nanoseconds, then where they would go, and what is the future? How this Power BI and the tools like Tableaus will be evolving in the ecosystem of generative AI.
Right. That's a, again, a very interesting question that has come up, and it's a very common question that comes in most of the discussions,
Right.
right? So like one thing is, are AI going to take our jobs away? See, if I tell you one very simple thing, in Power BI, we have a feature which can automatically create a report for you. And this feature is not something which has been added in the last 2, 3 years when this Chat GPT and all these AI tools came in. This feature has been there for a long. If I open the tool and I just load my data, Power BI will automatically create a report for me within few seconds. And if you will go and ask anyone, who has been working on the Power BI for years, or any manager, have they ever used that feature in their lifetime to build the report? The
Right.
answer will be
That's
no.
it.
They have
Absolutely.
never used it.
Yeah.
The AI can, yes, I will not say that AI is not useful. Definitely, it is very useful. It can help you save time,
Mhm.
but it cannot do your work. Because and I'm especially talking about this in the terms of BI tools that we have. For AI also, to get the work done, you have to tell them what to do. They don't do the things by themselves. And what to do is something which an analyst would be telling. Like, for example, I know that, I have to make 5 charts. Yes, I can sit back and relax that, okay, let me quickly, write the prompts in the Copilot, or write the, because like in Power BI, we have this Copilot, which is a good integration with this.
Yes, yes, we have the
You just,
Copilot, right?
you just
Yeah.
type your question and the
Mhm.
charts can be created quickly, right? We can do that up, right? We
Yeah,
can write the
absolutely.
DAX.
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
DAX is one of the features which people are mostly afraid of. They feel like,
Mhm.
I don't think I will be able to write such big formulas.
Right.
Once they learn, they get that confidence. But now that hesitation has moved out, because now they can simply type their query in the Copilot and it will write its complete
Mhm.
formula for you. So
Mhm.
yes, it can help you save the time, but cannot replace you. That's
Mhm.
that's what I've observed, right? So
Mhm.
initially, see, anyhow, Power BI has reduced the time of building report from hours to minutes.
Mm.
With this,
Right.
Copilot and all, we are just further reducing that effort. So manual effort is going out, and more of smart thinking and usability is something what now corporates and companies are looking into the people.
Oh yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And I believe there are few tools are already there, right? In Power BI, like the KPI and few charts that can build up automatically reports and they can show it to you.
Yes, yep. So those things, you just build up, put the data, and they can give a lot of insights. In fact, there is a feature of Q&A, that
Yes, yes, yes,
you
we
just
get.
type your question, it gives you the answer, which has been
Right.
sitting for years into the Power BI now.
Oh yes,
Again,
absolutely.
if you will see, very few people are using that app. They
Mm.
more People more want custom reports, right? Which
Right.
has a human touch to those reports, not a
Right.
robotic touch to it.
Mhm. And also there are few outliers if it's there in the report or in the data, you can automatically see it, right? I mean, it's not a very difficult thing to see.
Right.
Great. And also you have touched upon the DAX part, right? One of my questions always, keeps in my mind, that is for a person who is non-technical background and also willing to learn one of the tools like Power BI or Tableau. Is SQL is the important part of it? I mean, they should know first, or is there anywhere they should know in the journey of learning?
See, to every data analyst enthusiast, I always say SQL is the backbone.
Yeah,
You
that's
see,
sustained.
SQL, if you learn the first tool as the SQL, trust me on this, you will, all the other tools, they become, your half your job is done. Because all the commands, syntaxes, and everything that we use in SQL, they are getting used as it is, whether you're working in Tableau, Power BI, Python, or any tool. Now, I'm not
Mhm.
just talking about the data visualization tool, I'm talking about the programming languages as well.
Right.
So
Right.
there, they will be able to catch it up. Okay, the moment I use some term like, hey, we are going to now group the data. If they have learned SQL, they know, okay, what is group by. If I say, okay, now we are going to combine the two tables, we are going to join two tables.
Join.
If they know SQL, they will know,
Mhm.
okay, Amit, I know what is join. You just tell me how to do it in this tool. I know the concept, I know the outcome, I know everything. So SQL, I would say, is something which every data analyst should learn, and that too strongly. And yes, if you try to learn these Power BI, Tableau BI tools without the knowledge of SQL also, I mean, yes, you can learn it. I'm not saying that you cannot do it. The only thing is that during those concepts that come up, you will have to make sure that you understand those things from the code, right? From whatsoever source you're learning it, you make sure that you understand those things from the code, that at the back end, that understanding of SQL also gets developed for you theoretically and a little bit practically with the help of that Tableau Power BI.
Oh yes, absolutely, absolutely. Thank you, Amit. I think this is a lot of informations that we have discussed, but this is not the end. I mean, this is the beginning. We have done a wonderful podcast today, and we are saving lot many other questions related to data visualizations and as well as data modeling. Thank you so much for coming our show. We'll be looking forward for the next series very soon.
Thank you so much, Manana. I was glad to be here. So we'll wait for the next series as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.